England, Halstead, Essex. A typical small town to the north of London. It has a hairdresser, a hotel, a pub, and, hidden away on the industrial estate, a scrapyard. But this is a scrapyard unlike any other, and its customers and their requirements are very exclusive.
Yes, I've come to get some parts for my other Ferrari, which I've crashed, which is a Ferrari F40. Very limited, special parts required, and this is the only place in England where we can get such parts.
Welcome to Eurospares, a veritable spare parts paradise for car enthusiasts. The size of 4 football pitches, this scrapyard holds the most valuable scrap in the world because here only the creme de la creme of cars are salvaged. Maserati, Ferrari, Lamborghini, these are the fastest, most expensive and prettiest cars from the land of car designers, Italy. James Pumo is the owner of the luxury scrapyard. His passion for Italian luxury cars come from his father, who was Italian. Now the company has customers all over the world, all united by one thing, a love of outrageously expensive foreign cars.
Cheers. We see across the whole scale, from customers, yes, they've got so much money it's ridiculous, to the customer who's such an enthusiast, he can just afford to buy the car and just afford to run it.
It goes without saying that these spare parts can't be stored in the open air.
For the door, because behind here is £7.5 million of stock.
In total, there are 4 storerooms. In each hall, there are several thousand spares, neatly divided into small parts, bodywork and engines. But not every bit of gold there glistens.
Maserati 4200 engine there. OK, here we have a water pump for a late 1950s Maserati 3500. This obviously is very rare. It's actually still in good condition. This I would probably sell for £600–700. OK, this is an LP640 Lamborghini Murcielago optional racing seat. This is a £4,000 each. This is an exhaust system from a Ferrari F50, £8,000.
Valuing the luxury scrap, however, takes an expert eye. One batch of these Ferrari rims costs a whole €3,600 used.
The thing with this particular wheel, it was only on the long nose, which is a specific type of 275. So this is what makes it unique. Only an absolute expert would know which car this fits.
The Eurospares team buys broken down and wrecked luxury cars from all over the world to cannibalise them. These are found via the internet, insurance companies or hot tips from customers. Purchases are mostly made by phone without previously seeing the cars. The risks are very high.
They can be misdescribed, and if we buy it over the phone, and especially if we buy it from overseas, we have to take the word of the customer that's describing it to us, and sometimes it can happen. You know, the parts that we think are good, we can take off, they're non-usable, we can't use them.
Scrapyard owner James Pumo needs compatible tail lights and an exhaust for a customer's Jaguar. Logistic expert Claudio searches the inventory with a special archive program. Over 130 different car models are catalogued here, down to the smallest screw. Before the parts can be picked out, the team expects a new delivery, a Ferrari 360 Modena Challenge Stradale. This luxury car has a speed of around 300 kilometers per hour and costs €165,000 new. James Pumo got it for $15,000. It was wrecked in a crash. The engine is apparently still completely serviceable.
With damage on the front, on the back. So that looks okay.
The doors won't open because the frame is buckled. The key is also missing.
Fingers crossed.
James attempts to hotwire the car. Will it work? The engine doesn't start up. The scrapyard owner is visibly tense. Was the purchase a mistake? Under the sun visor, James discovers a spare key. This time it works. The car starts up.
That's right, Joe.
See, like the seals
Until the engine started, I was a little bit worried because the main value in the car is in the engine. So once that came off the trailer and it was running, I was a little bit more happier.
The car is taken to the garage to be taken apart. Here they'll find out whether the scrapped Ferrari is really worth its price. Now it's Neville Pretty's turn. Nicknamed Caveman, he's a surgeon among mechanics, the garage's luxury engineer.
The hook is very handy to flick out the plastic bits on the doors. These are for steering wheel bolts, which are a special nut that Ferrari use. We use these tools so we do the right job and we don't break the parts.
The master's disassembler explains what deconstruction depends on.
It's knowing what to do in what order, really. The right process, really.
Taking apart a luxury car only takes the professional mechanic 48 hours.
Chris.
In the meantime, Claudio has the Ferrari driver's order ready. The customer is lucky because all of the parts are in stock. Specialist Chris collects up all the parts, 4 lamps and a used exhaust, which comes to...
It's about £1,500.
For John Smith, the cost is not a problem. For him, there's a different issue. He wants to take the parts for his Ferrari F40 with him today.
The expense isn't really the issue. The issue is more the availability. If you buy these parts in a Ferrari garage, you probably have to order it, wait maybe a month, maybe they back order for the factory or whatever, whereas all the parts are here, available straight away.
Happy with his purchases, he sets off home. Incidentally, there's no guarantee. The customer carries the risk for the used parts. By now, James and Neville have worked down to the chassis of the Ferrari 360. Scrapyard owner Pumo surveys the spoils.
All right, chaps. Some of these parts, actually, Keith has already sold, and we have a customer who's waiting for these bits for his car, so it's good. 2 or 3 of the items we can sell straight away. This is also sold, so this customer is ready to take this.
And the boss discovers a bestseller on the other side too.
So the airbag is good because this is okay. So this we sell very quickly. This is £500. In the first few days, I think we'll get a good return of our money back. So this is promising. So yeah, I'm pleased.
This time the bargain hunter was lucky. James Pumo expects to be able to sell the salvaged parts for €22,000. And as early as the next day, they're back on the hunt for the most expensive scrap in the world.